Tom is the Director of Human Machine Interface and Cloud Solutions at Flex, who's playing a big role in designing and developing and delivering these innovative products that manufacturers are looking to build in the digital health consumer applications in the IoT space, as well as the industrial enterprise area. One of the questions I really wanted to ask, from a Flex perspective, what do you, Flex, imagine to be the bigger trends we'll see in the next, that we're going to see next in the smart home space, and what will consumers be using in the next year or two that they can't imagine they would be using? Any insight that you can provide there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away too much thunder from our customers, but certainly some of the overall trends in terms of design is what we're calling dead front. And so when you look at a variety of devices, they have a number of buttons, and I'll use the worst case, the oven has 60, 70 buttons in some cases, right? So moving to where all those buttons kind of disappear and the appliances and your devices kind of blend in with the surrounding. So right now you see a number of screens around your home. Your thermostat looks like a screen stuck on the wall. The idea is to make that kind of blend in. So when it's not in use, you're not noticing it. And when you approach, it kind of comes alive and shows you functionality that's pertinent at that moment. So going back to the use case of the oven, when you approach, it comes alive, maybe asks you to select a cook mode, then that disappears. It's asks you for temperature, you select it, that disappears, and it just simply displays, cooking for 5 minutes at, 350. Right. So those are some of the macro design trends we're seeing within the smart home. And there's a variety of technologies that we're developing to kind of enable that kind of invisible HMI.
What do you think is going to get consumers to adopt this technology? What's holding them back from buying these devices? Everybody thought it was like guns ho, and really, especially when IoT came out, it went big in the industrial side. But when you look at the consumer, it really didn't take off until, if anything, when Google and Amazon came out with their smart speakers. Where they made it simple for people. So, in your mind, and from Flex's perspective, what do you think what's holding them back, or is there anything we can do, or that we can overcome to get them to do more, to adopt these?
So there's a few things on that side. So one is the security, privacy aspects. Consumers are reluctant to incorporate a camera in their house or a microphone in their house if they can't trust that it's going to do the right thing, or the company that's running it is going to do the right thing or not get hacked. Right. So there's that side. The other side is just basically value relative to the cost. If I'm spending $100 on this device, what value is it going to deliver in my life? How does it interact with my other devices? Because many of them right now are so disparate and they don't work that well together. So having that ecosystem play really, and creating a value everywhere in their life, not just that one specific function, but having universal value.
Yeah, and what role do you think security and privacy play? Do you think
those are really the bedrock.
It is.
Yeah, those are really bedrock technologies, and we've seen a number of very public, security compromises lately. DDoS attacks being launched from consumer IoT type devices. So from our standpoint, we're really shifting our customers over to incorporating hardware-based elliptic curve cryptography elements, secure key storage. All those are kind of the foundational elements to allow secure communication up to the cloud and ensure their data is not getting hacked in transit, or someone's coming in from the outside to jump on that device and do something nefarious.
Yeah, that's I know we've been hearing it from day one about even the education of the consumer on what they can do and how important it is, because you're not going to, securing these devices is not like securing a laptop or a computer where you used to buy software and download it. I mean, the manufacturers have to build it into it, or else, the consumer's not going to do it. I mean, I remember one company, they had me go into their the router settings. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Well, most people don't. I mean, router, so it's a whole nother world. So I guess the last question we have for you, Tom, is this is the big thing. What's the next big thing that you think, we've been talking about the smart kitchen and digital health and wearables. Is there a smoking gun, or is there something that you can share with us? What's the next big thing to come this year?
Well, this year, I'd say there's some really cool stuff that I can't quite share yet, but I'll hammer back on the smart kitchen. I mean, that's really the killer use case that everyone's focusing on right now. It's getting the most mind share from the OEMs. So just getting that to work coherently, because it's such huge value. If you can just simplify that element of people's lives, that's a tremendous value for most people.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I know it's in my house because my wife and my daughters, they're all everybody cooks and everybody's in the kitchen, and it is a meeting place where people spend a lot of time, and and you look at these open floor concepts now that everybody's doing. It's the kitchen is kind of the center of the whole first floor of the house per se. So
Yeah.
that makes sense using that and all that bandwidth and stuff. Well, thank you, Tom, very much for taking the time. I apologize for that little interference there, but it was great having you on. If people have any questions, you can post it on Facebook. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions, or you can email us at info@gearbrain.com. We'll be more than happy. Again, you could follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. We also have a YouTube channel, which we'll be putting this on. And we'll also be putting this on our podcast. So we'll be taking the audio of this and editing it and put it up on a podcast, which you'll be able to get on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all the major podcast services. So, Tom, thanks again. Appreciate you guys are doing some great things there. We're excited. We'll keep an eye on you, and we'll have you back in a couple of months to see if you're right about the smart kitchen, all this stuff. Okay.
Yeah, my pleasure. And invite me anytime. I'll be happy to join.
Great. Thanks, man. All right. Everybody will be here next week with KB Homes, kind of following up on the whole smart home and where the home builders are going with this stuff. So thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.